The rush for quick investment in the real estate and the demand for housing has brought tremendous loss in both property and lives. This is as a result of negligence of proper building procedures by the landlord and the ignorance of tenants in moving into buildings whose certification is unknown.
Well, I suppose why we do not ask is because we are of the premise that if the building is up, it's because it's been certified to be fit for human consumption, you know. So I think the government does have a role to play, and I'm imagining most of the tenants, or most of the landlords actually, have no background in construction and architecture. That's why the government is there to enforce standards.
It is assumed that the building is safe for it to have gotten to the extent that people are now being requested to rent or buy. Then there are certain things that must have been done. So the assumption as a tenant or a house owner is that it is safe enough for me to buy and rent.
Informal settlements have sought exhibiting substandard building conditions and in the end has claimed lives through collapsing or even hampering rescue missions in case of a disaster.
The one which has been done outside the law is the one which we have to work out mechanisms for accommodation. When we take redevelopment programs, we have to take cognizance that what actually we are dealing with is investments that has costed the money. So, say an area like Githurai or Zimmerman, these are the areas that we can intervene. We can actually even develop certain regulations to suit that particular settlement, to see that as literal demolitions or displacement are actually done, so that we can maintain it that.
In the last couple of years or so, East Africa has seen a large number of buildings collapse. In Uganda in March 2009, Miremba Arcade, a two-story commercial building on Nasa Road, collapsed, leaving a death toll of 18 people. In Tanzania, a 10-story building came down in Changome village, and in back home, the memories are all too vivid.
But how can we be able to prevent that kind of a development? The government is also coming up with what is calling an urban policy. And within that urban policy, it will look into how actually livability in the urban areas can be developed, accommodating people and development, and with very minimal kind of distractions in matters pertaining to or minimizing the conflict between the development and the services.
Even though the demand for rental houses has shot from 150,000 to 200,000 units annually, the building code has not been taken into consideration during their construction, and at some point, one has suffered the consequences. Before starting a construction, the following procedure is crucial. First, identify an architect, prepare a design brief with the architect, visit the building site with the architect for improved design, come up with design upon consultation and input from both parties, approve design, after which architect pick other consultants including surveyors, after which the quantity surveyor produce bill of quantities. After your assent, take the drawing to City Council for approval. Once approved, give your architect the go-ahead to send contractors to site. Have the architect pay site visit to ensure the work is according to plan. And finally, invite City Council officer to approve your building upon completion. This procedure is rarely done, but this is the very report that the landlord is expected to produce to certify his building has passed the test and is ready for occupation. Manuya Kevin, GBS.